All of my free time was really spent behind a computer screen, whether it was just like browsing the internet, being on Reddit, or actually playing video games, whether it was Warcraft, or Dota 2, or whatever. My life really revolved around the computer screen and being on a computer.
Will Jeffrey is an engineering student at the University of Colorado in Boulder. He admits to having struggled with screen addiction.
I really identify that now as a mechanism for escape, a sort of form of self-medication where I'm experiencing uncomfortable feelings, boredom, loneliness, frustration, anger, and gaming as well as substances were a way for me to dissociate, step away from and escape from those feelings rather than experiencing them.
I think that people are inherently social beings and they're looking to connect, and as technology continues to advance, it's become sort of a natural evolution that it's merged into how we connect with others and how we engage.
I think the transition into high school was the real tipping point, and that's a really challenging time for a lot of people, and it was for me. I was at a new school, it was a much bigger school, I didn't really know anybody, so that's where the desire for connection and community came in, and I really attached to my World of Warcraft community at the time as a way of forging these human connections, because it was really hard for me to do it in real life. I was just someone who didn't really have great social skills.
There are various games that include, multiplayer games that include other people, so that you're playing with other people and that actually have chat and other kind of interactive capabilities while you're playing. So you'll see a lot of people who spend a lot of time gaming, but also would say that that's a big part of their social life because they're engaging other people through the game. But again, it's not necessarily face-to-face.
The problem area was like these long sessions of gaming where I'm like going off and like self-medicating and escaping from reality.
How long was long?
A long session, I don't know, 8 hours or so.
According to a survey conducted earlier this year by the Pew Research Center, more than a quarter of American adults say they go online almost constantly, and nearly 40% of those people were between the ages of 18 to 29.
We call them digital natives, people that have grown up with technology right from birth. They have actually learned to develop with technology in hand. So things that their social kind of norms, what might be considered polite or different rules of engagement, are different from them from like my generation, which is the digital immigrant that's kind of come into technology.
Jeffrey said he initially tried to curb his screen dependency by going cold turkey and living in an apartment without internet during his first year at CU.
What had occurred over that year were various periods of doing well and doing not well, and I could tell when I wasn't doing well because I would go out of my way to go and seek out internet and technology. So far as like installing a game portably on a flash drive and then going to a lab on campus, a computer lab, and playing that game there for hours at a time. I'd stop at the grocery store beforehand and pick up some like lunch and snacks and drinks so I could sit there undisturbed for like 8 hours at a time and get my session in.
We usually start with baby steps. It's not the kind of thing often where, I'll recommend to somebody, throw your phone away or shut off your phone plan. It's more along the lines of trying in increments to do something different and then offering alternatives to that.
Jeffrey said he started to discover alternatives to his use of technology when he found support from other students and staff members at CU's Collegiate Recovery Center in the UMC.
Hey, Grace.
Hey, how's it going?
Matt, long time no see.
Yeah, it's
Darren, man, what's going on?
A large part of that for myself was having a community of relatable people who I could bring my struggles, my successes, my stories, my ideas, my failures to, and they can relate and give feedback or just listen. And so the CRC at CU provided that space.
The CUCRC is really a community of people who support each other just by hanging out. And the one shared part is that they've all struggled with different issues or substances, screen, whatever in the past that have shut them off from the world, and they're just living a connected experience and having fun.
Jeffrey said he now uses the time he once spent gaming by helping other people, rock climbing with friends, and immersing himself in his studies.
Feeling like I'm constantly working towards something, being engaged in classes that I found interesting was big. I eventually found out that I had an aptitude for mathematics and natural science, and so that's what I pursued and that's what I enjoyed.
When social media, gaming, technology has been removed from someone's repertoire for a period of 45 days even, you'll see people feeling they're more focused, some of their attentional issues start to reconcile a bit. They are taking care of things that they may have neglected at other times.
Similar to video games or substances, which really is the pursuit of the reward center and gratification, academics can provide that same feedback, where you write a strong midterm and you get an A- and that feels great.